You two coming?
Oh, now they're saying yellow.
Oh, can you turn it off? Just the big box thing, just hit the off button. Hey, Monica.
Hey.
All right, so we've got to fix this.
I don't know who she is or what she's about. Little delay. 20 seconds. What are you doing?
Yeah. I had so much candy at my house.
Picture? Here, I'll take it. Oh, well, do
Okay,
this
Nicole?
side and then I'll take it with you guys. So you do sides. Ashley, you're not in the picture. We're taking a side. Where are you? I don't know.
Can you guys lean in?
I don't know.
You should turn more lights on.
Careful.
No, I'm talking about his picture.
Can you like balance it on the balancer and do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 like you did before? What is this?
I don't know.
1, 2.
You want to turn the lights on? Flip the two switches closest to the door. And the one down, well, the one beside it, the beside it, go down. No, the second one, no, the second one is up, go down. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you were the one who got my. What were you thinking? The list.
All right, everybody, here we go. We're gonna do it. Here, get in.
It's gonna take a minute.
Is Julie in it or does she have to move? Or can we go the other way?
No, Nicole's gonna have to. Polly, do you want to come over here? Nicole, can you get like in this spot? Yeah.
You're playing volleyball with the manager. One person on both. He then tried to cross.
I wouldn't even know where to look.
You're fine.
Like, did you see my picture that I cropped?
Like you could just be
No, I know, but that's why I did it, because it's funny, you know, like, I mean, you guys look, I cropped my own picture. Bring it, and they were just like, 10 seconds. 6,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's my move.
I know.
I always feel like I should know.
Did you see her? Are you telling me I didn't know that. Probably because you're like smart and you were like, okay, we're good. I just went on.
Sorry. Proper posture. I'm gonna do like this. I'm just sort. I'm gonna just put
Are you doing it again? Ashley,
Probably stirring.
you have 10 seconds.
She was so little that we couldn't see her. She was sick on it. Oh.
And we, see how, we could go higher levels.
Yeah.
Like those behind you, let's stand up. No, let's stand up. Come here. Yeah, let's stand
That
up.
is awkward. Let's bend that. Okay, come on, come on, shorty. Come on, and then on the count of, that works.
Right here.
Where's
Head-
9, 8, 7, 3, 2.
It's quite possible that my water might be knocked over.
Hey. Uh-oh. What's up?
Thank God it's water.
Okay.
Yes, it's water. Just don't do it again.
Oh, that's cute. All right.
You're good, okay.
Oh, no, that's actually fine, just invade my space.
Sorry.
She just wants to relax. I'm not excited. She relaxes.
All right. Nicole, hot, Scumble. Why not? I mean. No,
Talk to her. Turn it
Oh,
off.
you should have been. She said, I don't know who she is, but she talked to her. When I was
So I was like, what is it?
Exactly.
Really?
There was two.
I was super, yeah, I was super, my tongue was worried, and then she came back outside.
7 a.m. coffee.
I always call it fuzzy coffee.
So,
Or I always call it fuzzy tongue. Because after it gets burnt, it feels like it's fuzzy for a long time. I hate fuzzy
Okay, you have me know it's time to brush your teeth.
tongue. Yeah, especially like in the morning. Oh,
Yeah.
like.
I need a previous meeting. Anybody have the meeting thing from yesterday? I know it's not. Never mind.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get started and open us up with a little
Go
word.
over there.
She did not tell me I was doing this, so it's not a super prepared word. However, I do feel like the Holy Spirit dialed it in because seminar. I was not allowed to go until I was old enough to be a consultant myself, even though my mom got to go every summer. So 13 years ago, and it changed my world. It changed my world, and I left saying I will never, ever, ever be a married consultant, a working married consultant, but I will be. So.
Okay, just hold on.
Not like your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Someone
Well,
told
as
me
you were reading that, and I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I cannot concentrate.
So when it repeats you, okay. So I'm going to transport us into our bubble through music. It is one of my favorite ways to transform my mood in a day. And if you guys don't know, I have 3 children and the oldest is 5, and I do have 1 on the way. And so my world is chaos. My world from the time I open my eyes to the time I close my eyes is non-stop. Like I do not stop moving for the whole entire day. So this is the way that I change my world. So I'm going to transport you into a new world. Okay. And in doing that, I'm going to do it through this song. And this song was released right before the pandemic hit. Okay. Is God so good? This is not a surprise to him. What is going on is not a surprise to him. Us having to have a backup Mary Kay seminar plan is not a surprise to him, right? Mary Kay seminar day 1 not going off was not a surprise to God. He knew everything great that was going to come from it. I hope you listen to Laura's message. So I'm going to do it through the song. If you will close your eyes, if you will release the world so that for the next few hours, you can absorb what God is wanting you to absorb, okay? And then I'll give you a word. If you don't know how to release, you can turn your palms up. And it helps just get rid of all of this. All of this. Precious to you. Peace, peace. Be gracious to you. Can you receive it? Take it off. Take the out off. You're not of the world. You're not supposed to be of the world. You're not supposed to understand it. Open your brain. Ask for clarity. He's not hiding. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. His favor. And their children, and their children. All around you, within you, He is with you, He is with you in the morning, in the evening, when you're coming, and you're going, and you're weeping, and rejoicing. He is for you, He is for you. you will bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for being with us. Lord, thank you for giving the opportunity for us to gather for such a business as this and such a time as this, Lord. You do nothing by accident, God. And I know every single gathering that happens in this company, you appoint like a puzzle. I truly believe you appoint it like a puzzle. You have ordained each piece of this specific puzzle to be here so that we can move for you in your glory. I pray for clarity today. I pray for peace, that people would take into their car your peace, Lord, that it's not circumstantial. Lord, that your peace is constant and that it does not change. Our chaos can change, our circumstances can change, the world is ever changing, Lord, but you are not. So please speak that into our hearts today and for visions. Give us vision. Give us the eyes to see our journey, our walk the way that you see it. Give us the eyes to see our calling the way that you have ordained it. Because none of the callings in the Bible seems like what the world would have them be preparing when it happened. Who would have picked Mary? Only you. Thank you. We love you. I pray that this time is filled with joy. We give you all the praise for all things good, and we trust you with everything we can't understand. Amen. So I'm going to read in a time where I was just talking to Ashley about what facts, and that there's no facts besides to me, besides the Bible. Facts and the truth is the Bible, right? So the world is full of opinions right now. We have so many opinions, and we're inundated with people's opinions, and these opinions are presented to us as facts. Someone's opinion is now being presented to us as fact. We buy into the opinion as fact.
Hold on.
And
Beverly, is that better hearing? I moved it
Yeah.
closer to Nicole.
I can hear.
She's right there.
But she sees it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So if we aren't careful and on purpose, especially right now, we start buying into other people's melodrama and their opinion into what is our actual reality. Okay. And the reality is only what's in the Bible. So instead of focusing on the world, this story in the Bible has totally been consuming my brain, and it's from John chapter 8. And if you have not, who has read the Bible cover to cover and say, I have read the whole entire Bible? Okay, would you agree with me that John is where everybody should start?
Yes.
Like if you do not know where to start reading the Bible, open John. And open it from chapter 1. And it tells Jesus's miracles and what Jesus does, and so many of his miracles are spoken of through John, and you will see that Jesus was wrong. All of us. So John chapter 8, and I'm just going to read it to you and give you some of what my eyes were open to reviewing this chapter in the last couple of weeks. So early in the morning, he came again to the temple. This is Jesus. All the people came to him, and he sat down and began to teach them. The scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery and making her stand before all of them. Okay, I want you guys to understand that these religious teachers went and snatched this woman up out of bed to bring her. Okay, to bring her to Jesus. So this woman, fresh out of adultery, is coming to meet Jesus, and not by choice. Okay, she was forced to go. And they said to him, so this is what the religious leaders said, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such a woman. Now what do you say?" So I took that as the religious leaders are like, here we go. This is what the law says. This woman was committing adultery and we should stone her. Isn't that what you're going to say to Jesus, who is supposed to be loved? Right? It's a test. And so they said this to test him so that they might have some charge to bring against him, to bring against Jesus. Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. This is the all of these people are staring at this woman that just committed adultery. And she is coming. Can you imagine the shame and brokenness she is carrying walking into this situation to meet Jesus? And then they're yelling about everything that can you imagine if your sins were just being screamed on display in front of Jesus and everyone else to see? I'm sorry, I keep doing it to your kids. And so she's there in all of her shame and all of her broken. And do you know the amount of people that you meet on a daily basis that feel like they're there in their shame and they're broken? And Jesus had a choice on what to do. They're saying stone her. That's what the law says. And Jesus bends down and starts to write in the sand. And he does it so that they would look away from the woman. Is that just not the most picture of to think in that situation and not yelling at these religious leaders for doing what he would have never wanted them to do? Not yelling or scolding or using that moment to profess something. He just simply went and started writing on the ground so that they would all look away from the shamed woman. Love. Love. It's the same love that he loves you. In that exact same way, with your shame and your brokenness to become, and not just coming in your quiet prayer time, but you're coming in shame and brokenness and put on display, and Jesus loves you enough to very quickly assess and take the eyes off. That picture of love, I can't stop thinking about it. So once again, when they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let anyone among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." And once again, he bent down and wrote on the ground and waited. When they heard it, they went away, one by one, beginning with the elders. And Jesus was left alone with the woman standing before him. And Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" And she said, "No one, sir." And Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go your way, and from now on, do not sin again." The perfect love, the perfect grace, and the whole truth in one simple story. And so I want you to realize in this season of what's going on in the world, in any season that you're in any pain you're walking in any shame that you're in, that's what Jesus wants to do. All the mistakes, all the broken, he is the one leading you through that. And then the very next verse says, and I'll leave you with this. So right after, in the book of John, they tell this story. It says, again, Jesus spoke to them saying, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." And you know our theme being ignite. Ignite the light. His hand is on the company. His hand is on you. His favor is here. I hope you just receive it and receive that love in a tangible daily basis, that when someone would come bashing you, putting your shame and your sin and all your broken on display on a billboard, that Jesus would be the one to write in the sand to take their eyes off of you and to say, "I love you." Is that the best? That part of the story I had never noticed before, that was Jesus's. And you know, we have that in what we do all the time because we gather people all the time. and someone comes broken, very, very broken, every time. If you've had enough gathered in one place, you will know that there was at least one to come broken into your space. And you have that ability to be the one to write in the sand and to love her in that way. So that's my very unprepared word. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And you keep writing now. Jesus writing.
Ashton and I decided that we'll just go to
It's like,
school
that's
now.
good.
We're done.
Like,
But
that was
from
all
that
we
way,
got
we
in
only did
for.
the year.
It was really good.
Let's go.
No.
Okay. Red jackets, gather your things. We're gonna go next door and Nicole, I need your computer.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
That's my favorite. What was the name of that song? The Blessing
I'm not gonna worry about my phone.
by Carrie Joe.
Nicole's gonna be first here with them,
Okay.
and then I'll come back. You guys are until after break. got an hour.
Part 1, part 2. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, you weren't.
So where am I going to sit?
Do you want to put this red jacket or do you want to
I'm myself.
I will be right back.
That's why I asked you.
Really? You go right there,
Right? You're going there, you're gonna do that?
just after that. You know that bathroom? Oh, so good. Right at the end, at the end, I almost went in there and just started bawling, and I'm like, keep it together. Keep it together.
So I need you guys to keep an eye on that and then come over here.
Am I
Yeah, you
saying
see
it?
what I just did?
Ashley, because she's cooking. I was gonna ask you that.
No. Yeah, just gotta touch their name and then look at it. And keep an eye on that. just so
Well,
you-
Okay.
There may be some more people joining. Nicole, where's your?
Okay, that's the other thing that I was gonna ask you.
To me?
The other thing I was gonna ask you, all 4 of us will talk to both groups, correct? Okay,
So we got 30 minutes.
okay.
I'm like, I'm just gonna sit
Like,
here and I'll start
say.
listening with somebody.
Start writing.
And if you look at me and say move. I
So,
will.
okay, so what did you hear? What did you love? What did you love?
All of it. Like,
What was the final, verse that she said? Did you get all, write it down?
He basically, like, I didn't write it, so it'll be right after chapter 80, so I'm guessing it's chapter. Nicole, what was the verse that you, the last verse?
John 8:10 maybe?
I'm gonna see, because Julie and
John
I
8:12.
are teaching on basically the same. So I want to hear what she says, so I don't duplicate it. Okay? Bye. Bye, guys.
Okay, so Jade, I know you were with me when I first taught on iStory a few years ago. 3 years ago now. 2 years ago. So only 2 years ago. Yeah, I guess it was. Anyway. Okay. Well, I am teaching on iStory today. Okay. And the power of your iStory. And so we all know what an iStory is. Wherever you're comfortable. You're gonna have to write, so if you're comfortable writing there, then say that. Okay, so do you know what an iStory is?
Is that like your mom?
Your why story, your I story, yes.
Like
You-
Princess and the Pea.
Well, my feet are so short.
I know.
I know, that's why I'm
Because
saying
my-
like this.
I spent the whole night with my arms down. And now I'm going, why? Because I can't make it home, none of my sleep.
Okay, so your I story should be told at every single appointment that you have. Whether it be an interview, a one-to-one, a virtual appointment, a party, it should be shared at every single appointment. Even if it's their second and third appointment. Okay? Because sometimes we're like, well, she's already heard this, I'm not really gonna say it again. You are, because she doesn't remember.
And different things will resonate with you, with people differently.
Yep. And if it's even someone that knows you really well. And so even like my best friends, I do my iStory, and what I just say is, I know you already know this about me, but it's good for me to say it again. Okay, to kind of ease into that so that they actually focus and they don't know what these are. You know why? Because friends don't listen to each other.
It's true.
We have friends to talk about ourselves. Only in an environment such as this, in a company such as this, do people actually listen to you to get to know you. But it's not a skill that most women just do. Like if we go out for drinks with our friends, it's because we want to talk about the things that are going on in our life and to get away from X, Y, and Z. It's usually not to find out. So your iStory should be told. So I want to spend a lot of time actually working on it and not as much time teaching you how to do it. Okay. So really quickly, we're going to do an activity. Close your eyes. Chandra, can you hear me? Thumbs up. Okay, so close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to remember your first Mary Kay appointment, and I want you to really think about who you were, what was going on in your life, what did you think about Mary Kay going into it, what had you been praying for, what were you wanting? Just think really hard, and if it's further back, it's going to take more effort, but I need you to go back there. Are you thinking? Nod to me. Are you remembering this person? What you were wanting, what you were envisioning, what you were hoping for. Okay, open your eyes. Now write it all down. All the thoughts you just had, good, bad, and ugly, write it all down. Never tried it before. First experience. What was your experience going into the time that you actually said yes? Brain dump all of this right now. However, as long as you're like emotional train wreck, just got divorced, whatever you were, write all of that. Your secret prayers that you were praying at that time. Keep writing. I know Tandra, I think, just did this activity or something similar. But keep writing. Who you were emotionally is really important. What your thoughts were walking in there. Did you go for something free? Did you go because you wanted to help someone? Did you go because you loved the product? Why did you go? What was your love life like? Mess? Was it amazing? Were you single? Hey, Tandra, will you text me this Zoom link? Facebook message or text it to me.
I got it now. I'm good.
All right, keep writing. We're doing an activity where we're going back to who you were, where you were, what you were doing the day you said yes, or the season that you said yes to me. What were your thoughts about the company? What were your thoughts about all of it? I need you to be real and raw with yourself. Feel like we're getting some good stuff here. You can if it was pivotal and why you said yes. This
Mine wasn't that long ago. Well, I mean, the person I used it.
You said that, yeah. So focus on this time. Hey, write that down though.
Oh, that's all I remember. I'm going somewhere else.
Okay. Now you stop. You can go back and elaborate on this more as you're thinking about more. Okay, I want you to draw a line across your page. Now I want you to write, why did you say yes? Why did you truly say yes to American Start? And this is safe. You can be honest. No fluffy answer. Fluffy eye stories are not fun eye stories. No one likes to listen to someone's testimony that was rainbows and roses and I just floated through the air. It's unrelatable because it's not reality. So why did you say yes? Okay. Now draw a line across your page. And the next thing I want you to write is, now what are you doing with your business? The things you love most about it. I hate the term your favorite thing, because I personally never have one favorite thing and it always drives me crazy, okay? So I want all the things you love. Like if someone says, why Mary Kay? Tell me all the things you love and what are you doing with your business? So Is it your girl time? Are you paying for something specific? Are you earning a car? Are you going into leadership? Like, then give me, what are you doing with your business and all the things you love? And remember, no generic junk. No, not what your neighbor loves. What do you love about it truly? I'll have my watch on there. That's so weird.
I probably could have made that the way it looks today. I typed with this to be peanut butter. Where are they like?
That's true.
That must be where that came from.
I wonder if that is. All right, look at me when you're done with that. Yes.
Yes,
Out loud.
or like someone else is talking and you're like,
That is not what I'm supposed to say. Okay, so this right here is the makings of your iStory. Okay. Your iStory at an appointment should be 2 to 3 minutes long. It's a lot you just wrote, isn't it? 2 to 3 minutes long, that's it. Okay. The reason why it is so important is because most people are going to say yes to you and not the Mary Kay opportunity. And the way that they know you, if they've never met you before, is your iStory. Obviously, you're going to be bringing in energy. You're going to be your cute, bubbly selves that you are here. The love that you're giving, loving like Jesus does, writing in the sand for them. They're going to know the feeling. But what they're going to know about you is this 2 to 3 minute iStory. So when you tell an iStory, at the beginning, you have everyone go around and answer a question about themselves. Okay, I usually say, what do you like to do for fun? I like that question because you get to see someone's personality. It's not that I'm actually expecting to know what they like to do for fun, but you'll see their personality, whether they're like, oh my gosh, everything is fun. I love to do everything that's so fun. I like to go shopping. I like to, go out to dinner. You get to see who they are, which is the point of the question. Okay, so at an appointment, I have said nothing about me until my iStory. And I went to work. I have not told a story about myself. I have not shared my own marriage, my own thoughts about Mary Kay. I have shared nothing about me. The entire conversation, the entire environment has been her and them. Okay? And the reason why that's so important is because by the time I get to me telling you my iStory, they're like leaning in, and you can see that they go, oh, this whole thought process as women of, oh, I don't know you. I just sat here and told you some of my deepest, darkest secrets in the last 5 minutes, but I actually don't know who you are. So the beginning of your iStory, the first things that you're saying should be you. Nothing to do with Mary Kay. So when you open an iStory, we tend to want to say, I'm trying to think now of what most people would say. When you open your iStory, it's like, well, I used to think this about Mary Kay, and this is what I found, and blah, blah, blah. And you just are all about Mary Kay. Well, that's not who you are. You are not Mary Kay. She was one lady. Her iStory could have been about the company because the company is named after her. But you are your own person. So the very beginning should be you. So I want you to write down very first, if I asked you the question, what do you like to do for fun? Or whatever question you use at your appointment consistently, and it shouldn't change. Don't change that question. Because it gets us fumbled. It gets us confused right off the bat, and we don't want to go into the situation confused, right? So keep the question. I use what do you like to do for fun? So if you've never had a question, you can do that one. Write the answer to that down. Yes. How would you answer it at an appointment? So here's what just happened. Everyone says their name. What do they like to do for fun? And then it gets to me, and I start with my name. And what do I like to do for fun? So my name is Nicole Gumbel. I am married and have 3 beautiful kids and 1 on the way. I love to drink coffee. I love to get up early before my whole house into a quiet home. I really love that moment. That's really fun to me. I love talking about Jesus. I love things like this. Okay, so see how natural it is now for me to go into also why I'm doing this and why I'm here. It's not weird because they all just told me what they like to do for fun. I told you what I like to do for fun. And I'm also going to tell you why I'm so excited to be your consultant. Okay? I want you to write this word big on your paper. Authentic. AUTHENTIC, authentic. Women can smell authenticity like it's our sixth sense. Right? Someone walks in a room that's being fake and you're like, if you're at a table and you're being a fake perfect beauty consultant, your eye story washes over them like it didn't happen. So why I had you spend the most time and the most writing is on who you were when you said Mary Kay, said yes to Mary Kay, because that's who they are. And we tend to want to spend time on how amazing the company is and how much we love it now and what we're doing now, but they can't see that far yet because they haven't said yes yet. Okay? So it would be like me talking about the intricacies of the Bible to someone that doesn't know that God sent Jesus to die for your sin. Period. He loves you. That's all you need to know right now. Okay? So it's the same thing at your appointment. Obviously, it's not the same importance level of that conversation, but it's the same thing in terms of what you're telling them. Because you have got to be able to go back into the space that they're in coming into that appointment. Okay, so the bulk of that eye story of that 2 to 3 minutes, a minute should be you talking about that person before you say yes to Mary Kay. What you were wanting is a big deal. Okay, what you were wanting out of life, your dream, whatever, that feeling that you were just blah, you were doing the same thing day in and day out at your job, whatever it was really, because when it's in your story, all the 5 of us right here, there's only 5 of us, we would all have very different eye stories. Who we were before we said yes were very different. The place we were in life were very different. But the heart of women in general is still so much different. I mean, God created us, He created us and said it is good. The woman. He said that after the woman. Let's be clear. The woman. And that's who we get to work with. And so our hearts are very much the same. So when we can go to who we were then, and this took me a while, it took me months and months of diving into this and really getting this solid for myself because I was raised around it, you guys. I never had, and it's very much how it is for me with Christianity because I was raised a Christian. I never had a born again moment in my life. I never knew life without Jesus. So for me to have to learn who could be sitting at my table, but I did have life before I worked Mary Kay as a consultant. I did have my own plan. I did have my own, what I thought I was going to do. Okay, but I never lived in a world where this opportunity didn't exist. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It always existed because I got the benefits of the business. My mom was home every day when I got home from school. I mean, I got a car on my 16th birthday. I thought everyone gets cars on their 16th birthday. Because I lived the benefits of this company, I did not realize that there are people that don't know the benefits and the opportunity that it is. Okay, so as you are writing out your story, and because I'm going to run out of time in this class, I want you to do this today. If you have to sit at lunch by yourself, if you have to, we have like an hour between lunch and closing session. If you have to go, I want you to write it today. No. I'm not going to make you.
Oh, I get nervous, like, that makes me nervous.
No, I'm not
I
going
need
to.
to rehearse it and practice as actually instead of calling my C somewhere in my life.
Yes, it is receipt.
That's,
I really probably need to take that class.
Which is exactly why writing it is so important. Yes, so I'm gonna close with telling you mine, so you can get the feel, the gist of everything I'm talking about and why it's so important. And I will tell you, my recruiting average for people that sit in front of me are 1 out of 2. And I believe it's because of my story. I mean, I keep the marketing very simple, but it's my story. My first Offspring sales rep that I ever had referenced my story multiple times in our working relationship together. And she had only heard it once at her first party ever, where she only got her starter kit because she loved the bag so much, is what she said. And she looked me in the eye and said, "Do not ask me to hold the appointment because I will not. I want this bag and I'm smart and I know how much that comes in this bag. It's a good deal." But she referenced my story for years. Is that because we remember stories? Why is the Bible so big? It's stories. It is full of stories. The reason why Jesus wanted to paint a picture of living a Christian life through stories is because that's how our brains were wired to learn. And we love that. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you my story. Are you ready? I built it up now. I usually tell it in the beginning and then tell you how to do it. So we'll see how this goes. Hi, I am Nicole Gumble. Like I said, I'm so excited to be your beauty consultant. I have been married to my husband for about 7 years now. Yes, we have 3 beautiful kids. This is 5. I know, chaos, but I'm expecting 1 due in December. It is a very fun, full life. And what I like super fun is I like to drink coffee. I like to go shopping. I like to work out. I love football. Please let there be a football season this year. I love football. And I was raised in this Mary Kay community. I was raised in this people. My mom got her starter kit with me on her lap when I was 4 months old. And I have always loved the company. I got to live the company. I've always loved this company, a company made by a woman for women, a Christian company, a company that stands up for what's right, a company that gives women the opportunity to truly have it all. I've always loved the company and loved the product. So when I turned 18, my plan was to be a smart shopper. It was to be a very good wholesale consultant. And you have that option. And that's what I wanted to do with it. That was my extent of supporting the company because I love the product. I had to pay for it. I'm going to get it at half off. And so that's what I did when I turned 18. And then I went on to pursue my plan for my life. And my plan was to be an executive assistant. And then when I started having kids, I would quit and I would be a stay-at-home mom. Because the one thing that I learned from living in a Mary Kay household is that a mom being there when a kid gets off the bus from school or picks them up from school is a very important, pivotal moment in a kid's day. And so I made that decision. But I made that decision before I met my husband. And then I met my now husband. And we had one of those long talks early on in our relationship of like what we wanted out of life and kids and, just the whole life conversation. And leading up to him, I was very single and very lonely and very, very lonely. So I was really excited to have this conversation. And he said, if you want to live the life that you were blessed to live, you're going to have to make an income. Knowing that we wanted him to be able to pursue his dreams. So I wanted him to have the flexibility to pursue his dreams. He knew the flexibility my mom had and the income that she made. And so after a lot of encouragement from him, a lot of prayer, too much prayer. The prayers that you keep like praying and God keeps answering them, but you keep praying them again because you don't think, yes, that, too much prayer. now. Yay! Isn't that so exciting? So this has been my only job since the moment that I said yes to working it like a business, and it has provided for us in seasons. It has been, and now he makes an income, which is fun. But I'm still the breadwinner of our house through what we do here. Isn't that cool? So what I love is that I got to live it, and I did not know that people don't know that this opportunity exists, and that there are people that haven't tried the product. So are we ready to try the product? Yay! Okay, let's get started. Yay. Okay, and that is a little bit different for you because I feel like I already told you some of it in it. But do you feel the emotion that you felt listening to me? I think I'm gonna burn my cold.
Yeah, you shared your vulnerability of where you were at.
Yes. Awesome.
And it hasn't always been easy. Like it, you know, you think it was easy after it's been a while, you know, but then it takes them back to like.
Where I was, and when I first started my iStory, what's that?
Or even kind of something like, oh, I don't want to do that. My mom does that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're saying yes and then still feeling like, oh, to knowing that it shows that people might be a little hesitant, but it does work out.
You don't have to be like all in right after that. Like,
Right.
that's a big thing too. If you can ease yourself, that's what you need to do, or you know.
Right. Yeah, and so putting those moments of your story in there, and what I always have in it, which I didn't because I was nervous telling it to you guys after talking about how to share it, is that my greatest need is safety and security. And so the reason why I had a better plan that wasn't Mary Kay is because there was safety and security in the paycheck. And I happened to be living at home when I watched my 48-year-old father lose his job on a Friday, told not to come in on a Monday, just because it wasn't working out. And I immediately felt God say, why do you think a human controlling your paycheck is safer than me controlling your paycheck? And that was another level of prayer. Like, okay, I've heard you 35 times now. Yeah, so making sure that you are you in that story. Be your personality. You know, you don't have to go put on Mary Kay Amanda. You are just always Amanda, and you get to do this as part of what you do. And that's what I can say is the biggest. Now, once we have your iStory, I will, because you are here, give you personal coaching on it. Okay? So if you will write it, and then I'm going to have you say it to me, I don't know if it's a gift, but I feel like people always tell me I have a gift of words, but I can look at moments that I want you to highlight. That you might just be kind of like, oh, not that big of a deal, let me just say that. Like for example, when you said, well, I remember I used to steal my mom's, it's a little thing that you could put in that connects people to you. Because there's a lot of women that used to go to their mom's drawer.
That we're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know too.
Okay. That used to go, so that immediately, see?
Yeah.
I mean, and I definitely did.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I totally did.
Yeah, so that one little moment, even though to you it's like whatever, but to a lot of people it connects them to you. And what connection does is it makes them trust you. And same with authenticity. Authenticity is why they trust you. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No, I appreciate this. I am excited about this because I feel like I've been fumbling with my story. I feel like I've been in a year and I feel like I don't know, I feel like it keeps evolving a little bit or I keep bringing a little bit more into it, but I need to sift through and see if it's all supposed to be together or if I need to like focus on it. Yeah.
I'm just not good with words. Like I
I get very
think things,
fumbled.
but then I just can't.
I need to write it.
And that's the cool thing about the iStory. Once you once you write it, then you can get the words how you really want to say it. Because in that environment, you get, I mean, especially if you're at like a party of 8 or a party of 10, or if you're sitting in front of one hotshot that you were like, oh my gosh, you would be in a lot in 2 seconds. If you don't have it written and memorized
I feel like it's been holding me back now up here and like really,
For sure.
because I've been like stuck at like almost red jacket for a while.
Okay.
And I don't feel like I've really given, I don't know, I need to give more of myself. And I think that's gonna be like the magic ingredient. Make it more. Yeah,
Yes.
but I'm really only, it's only,
Yeah.
it's not that I
You need to just set up your lines in there.
What?
You just don't need to go live in the fall. I mean, in the,
Oh,
red.
okay.
Thank you.
Hey, and that's not Tandra's first iStory training. Hi. Well, she's your next teacher. Oh, let me bring in Executive Senior Sales Director, Julie Pye. All right. We got 30 minutes and then we will have a break before the next two teachers. So.
Hey, Amy. Hey, Dad. Hi, Conrad.
Okay, who am I missing over here?
Jade.
Deal. Jade?
See, this is what happens when I try to sleep in on a seminar day. Silly
Are you
me.
done? Okay, 5 greatest needs. Is Nicole sitting here?
I guess I need to listen to
Nicole's?
Nicole. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I want to hear everybody. Actually,
I was just gonna say, you just heard me go over this.
I know, but I was wanting to hear how they communicate. So it's recorded, right? Will I be able to see them?
Yep.
It's streaming.
Hi, you guys. I see Amy and I see Monica and Tundra and Beverly. And I love you guys. So you're up on the wall over here, even though I know the camera's right there. Okay. So, we're going to discuss the 5 greatest needs. The value in understanding the 5 greatest needs is self-motivation. Understanding the 5 greatest needs is about why you're not doing what you may be wanting to do, because your greatest need isn't being met. Now, you can take this into perspective of what's going on with the pandemic and how many of our greatest needs were stripped from us. Okay, and we'll go over this. I will put this in the chat for you guys at some point, but it's this beautiful worksheet that's all done up nice and pretty. It was compiled by Stacy James, Sean Key, and Julia Burnett. Okay, and it's the most brilliant piece of paper you can get on the basic. Okay, so power and achievement is, so there's 5 of them. Power and achievement, the need to conquer. Love and connecting, the need to influence. Freedom and choice, the need for freedom. Safety and security, the need for stability. Fun and pleasure, the need for adventure. How many of you know what I am already? Number 5. She doesn't even know. Barely knows me. And she already knows I'm number 5. What do you guys think Nicole is? Yep. So here's the problem in raising my daughter. You guys need to know this for your children and your grandchildren. Nicole's safety and security. Fun and pleasure. I literally said things to her like, are you not going out after for prom? That would be so much fun. Like, why are you sitting, like they would go out to prom and then her and her boyfriend would come home and watch a movie. There's no adventure in that. Like, I would get mad at her. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you just like, leave, get out of the house. When she got her license, I'm like, go somewhere, get it. And she's like, well, no, I mean, I got it now. She had the stability of knowing that she could drive her car. She already had the car for 6 months, but now she could drive it, and she was just gonna listen. It was like, here's some money, go to McDonald's, take your brother, go somewhere. Anyway, so when I was telling her all about Mary Kay, I was all about how much fun Mary Kay was. She did not see the stability in the paycheck. She did not see the stability in the paycheck. I didn't tell her about that because I didn't care about that. I had it, but my baseline is fun. Got me? Okay, power and achievement. Empowered by an ambitious heart. Achievement is an urgent calling. Power and achievement, I'll let you guys read this, but power and achievement people need to check off or checking off. They don't necessarily care about the recognition. They just want to be successful. Like they don't, like so many of the, awards night last night, so many of the power achievement directors, like, this is great. Like, just put my name up there, let everybody see I did it. I'm good. Us fun and pleasure. I was like, where's my stage? Where's my walk? Where are my sashes, right? Okay, power and achievement. Your trigger, or who thinks they may be power and achievement? Anybody in this group? This is why you're not in red. This is power and achievement got to be in red because that's a level of success that they got to be at. It's like, wait a minute. There's a level that I can achieve, and I'm gonna still be like with 3 people. Done deal. How fast can I do that? Like Ashley, when I explained to her pretty much really what the red jacket was, she had 1 active, she had 1 inactive, and she needed 1 more person. We were standing, this is power and achievement for all of you. We were standing in TJ Maxx, right, Ashley? We were standing in TJ Maxx and we're talking about this while we're shopping, because that's what we do best. You got to know your audience. And she goes, okay, so 3 active people. By the time we checked out, she was in the red jacket. She called her mom and she said, Mom, look, I want to be in my red jacket. I know you need some product. I need you to sign up and place it on. Mom said, okay. Because this is the deal for her. And then whoever number 2 was, she called her up. She said, hey, I know you've been on the fence about this. So, what you want to order, go online and let's just go ahead and get this in because we're doing an event tonight and I want to be recognized as red jacket. And so power and achievement people are just gonna be like, bam, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Okay, trigger words you can see in the black box. Success, achievement, advancement, accomplishment, mastered, victory, first, powerful, leader, game changer, elite, champion. So Tammy next door was that. I had her read those trigger words. By the time she was done, she was crying because it triggered her. Okay, number 2, loving, connecting. Those of you who have the need to influence, teachers and nurses are in this, they're like all up on this. Love, people, and others focus, empowered by the influence of affecting another person's heart and or actions. Have a dedicated interest in how others think. Is physically affectionate, easily demonstrates love, energized by the ability to influence by making a difference. Who are my love and belonging in the room? Hello, girls online who had to join in because you had to belong. All 3 of the girls online, raise their hand. And Monica, I don't see yours. Monica, are you a yes?
I don't know how to raise my hand.
I can't hear you. I think because all my things are quiet over here. Anyway, I bet Monica is too. Trigger words, connection, trust, relation. Did I go over these already? No. Connection, trust, relational, kindred, friend, mentor, genuine, caring, community. Stand in the gap. You are my stand in the gap girls. Don't make me start crying today. Sisterhood, belief, family.
This reminds me
This
of
is
the
seminar.
Catholic pirate.
Welcome to seminar 2020. But this is what happens. Yeah. Okay, so all of you who just started crying, those are your trigger words. Okay, so this is how you speak to yourself. You speak to yourself by saying, I am not building my red jacket team because I'm gonna crush this goal. You're creating a tribe of like-minded women who are gonna empower each other, you're gonna empower your families, you're gonna empower the universe because of the tribe that you are building with your team. When you go out to Warm Chatter book, a power and achievement person is like, I did it, done, got that, send names, done. For you to go out, I go out because it's fun. I just want to meet new people because I'm always in an adventure. I gotta go meet somebody new. Okay, you love and belonging people, you're gonna go out and you're going to meet new friends. Your goal in Warm Chatter Booking is to go make new friends today. How many new friends need you? When that person walks by and the Holy Spirit nudges you to say hi, do it because she needed you. Okay, freedom and choice. I don't think I've got any of you here. Let me just tell you, Sarah Hoyt in my national area is freedom and choice. Chelsea Radford in my national area is freedom and choice. Ashlyn Couch in my national area are freedom and choice. And guess what? The three of them like to room together. Because they, one is your foundation. The others, I meet all of these other needs once I'm having fun. If I'm not having fun, but one of them will be you. Okay, so freedom and choice. Here's the thing about freedom and choice people. When you're working with them, you cannot, I'll say that to you, use the word need or have to. Because they will say, F no, I don't. No, I don't.
Like I love her,
Yeah,
but she does a lot of the need and have to.
yeah.
And I'm like, even though it's
So
what
you
I
freedom and
want,
choice?
well, I feel like I'm 2 and 3.
You're one
Can't
of those.
be.
One is predominant.
Well, I mean, I'm totally with an art teacher, artist. I'm very creative.
Okay, read the trigger words for freedom and choice.
Independent.
Say it loud so they can hear you.
Okay, independent, autonomy, flexible, creative, self-reliant, find a way, make a way, solution-oriented, decision or decisive, free, partner, equal, freedom, flexible, partner, equal, resourceful, figure it out, self-starter, choice, options, decision maker, no rules.
Is this you?
That sounds a little like you.
Yeah.
Okay, so your relationships are on your terms,
Yeah.
right? Your relationships are on your terms.
Yeah.
Okay. You can follow the rules. You have to mentally know who you are, and you're going to follow the rules by saying, that's cool. I'm going to choose to do that. And when Lisa Ann says to you, okay, this is what you have to do, you must do, then you're going to say, you know what? There's some value in that. I'm going to choose to do that.
Right. That's where I've gotten to.
That's a great idea.
No.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And
I think I
know
want to do that.
that she has to say.
Right.
I'm like,
I'm going to choose that.
I
Right.
choose you.
So when you're working with the freedom and choice, don't say this
But
is
for a
what you
long
have to
time,
do
I was struggling.
with that.
Yeah.
Now you know why.
Right.
Your freedom and choice. Okay. Number 4, safety and security. Safety and security people love money in the bank. When Nicole calls me up and she's having a bad day, you're re-listening this, which I know you're probably not. When she's having a bad day, I'm like, how many bills did you just pay?
That's
That's a little bit.
Yeah, because that makes her mad. Safety and security are constant and will follow a proven path. They're energized by a savings account. They like, my husband is safety and security. So, okay, so here's the thing. We moved a bunch of times, right? The blessing that I was for Nicole in those moves, even though they rocked her world moving 9 times, is that yes, moving, and then with Donnie moving again, her baseline for that was because I'm fun and pleasure and full of adventure, I never freaked out over a move. Like, we've been here 8 years, I'm kind of freaking out that we're not moving. So that's why I keep remodeling my house. It's like, I gotta I gotta make an adventure of this. I moved my pool. My pool was down there.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yes, no, the pool used to be down there. Now it's a grassy knoll. And now my pool's over there because it wasn't fun down there. It wasn't fun down there. I didn't like it. Drawn by music. We love to party. We love to dance. Fun and pleasure. So I gotta make a game of things. Trigger words, entertaining, fun, laugh, audience, celebration, party, spotlight, recognition, exciting performance, no rules. See, I've got a little bit of that. No rules. Turn it up, flexible, spontaneous, and impromptu. I decided 5 minutes before we were gonna do this, that this was my training. Couldn't decide, because I have to be impromptu. Yeah. I mean, there's times that I need to pull in, to see part of my personality, make sure technology's working and all of that, but that's fun. It's fun to me when I do technology and then it all links up and I'm like, victory, I got this. Got it.
That was me.
Yeah. Yeah. I did it.
Unplugged, but I did it.
Okay, so this is how you motivate yourself. These are self-motivations. So when I'm doing something that's monotonous, like making phone calls, I've got to do something fun while I'm doing it. Usually I stand up and I'll kind of dance. And when I leave a message, I can have a little victory in my head. When they say no, thank you, I'm like, good. I get to delete you. Like, I don't have to call you again. I'm so happy that you said no to me. You're gone. Bye-bye. I like it. Because it's like, so you just create little games. But I have safety because having $50,000 in my bank account right now is fun. Because I saw a Louis Vuitton purse and I almost bought it for $2,000. But I have it. And that is fun. It's so fun. So it's just, so everybody has their own trigger. And it is all about understanding who you are. So fun and pleasure, or I think here fun and adventure. A lot of people, oh, but I'm that. It's like, no. This is the pursuit of happiness. So this isn't, that fun and pleasure person isn't just being happy. It's literally, I have a party going on all the time, like literally. Right?
Yeah,
You're fun.
I you're not that person.
Huh?
Like, I watch action, and I'm like, I want to be like, you are now. But that's what I have to tell myself, like, I'm fun in my way.
Right.
And I don't have to be Ashland
Right.
to be a great director or to do that. You know,
Right.
I'm like, so like to be though, I watch it and think, oh, I really have to do her.
But you know why?
Me.
She's
Yeah.
confident in who she is, and she's just her. So if you are just her and what you're confident in,
Right.
same thing.
But
Right.
see, okay, so let's twist this, okay? So if your greatest need is love and belonging, so having your posse of people, when you do have a small crew of people, okay, the difference between your interaction with them and Ashlyn or me is that we're big and boisterous, okay? People want to be in your space because you draw them in with intimacy. Because I want to connect with you, I care about you, and I know I am just as drawn to you, to that style of person, as I am the fun person. Because fun people can actually like tone it down. Like after a little bit, I mean, I see y'all's eyes sometimes at the meetings. I know the look when I know, okay, really. So I know, but if you look at all the national sales directors, like Daisha Wiegand is safety and security. You guys know who Daisha is? Daisha was at the time, she was the youngest national. She was a national at 26 years old. 26 years old, national sales director. Started at 21, and when she became a national, she was the fastest to NSD from starter kit to NSD. But everybody thought she was power and achievement, like she came in and was just gonna rock this world. And she said, oh my God, no. Her goal when she started Mary Kay, she was a teacher. her goal was that, okay, so if I add 2 customers a week, at the end of the year, I'll have 100. If half of them stay, at the end of 5 years, I'm going to have 250. And if half of them stay, at the end of 10 years, I'll have over 1,000. And therefore, because she's safety and security, she didn't embellish those numbers. So therefore, I could probably retire from teaching in 10 years. In 10 years, Mary Kay, she was making 300,000, not 30, in Miami teaching. Okay, but what happened is that she saw Dacia, D-A-C-I-A, WeGot. So she decided to, step one, she found out about a senior consultant. Oh, I can do that. So she became a senior consultant. Step 2 was Red Jacket. That week, she became a Red Jacket. So the difference is that her greatest need was safety and security. She had to do it step by step, but her mindset was, how fast can I get to the next step? It wasn't how fast can I get to national. It wasn't even on her radar. It wasn't on her radar until she had 100 unit members. And she got her first offspring director. And then she said, oh, well, future executive is 3. I can do that if I just did 1, right? So she took it step by step. And then what ended up happening is that as she was growing and starting to come to events and seeing the bigger picture, she wasn't even married. And at the beginning, and she's like, okay, so maybe this could be the safety and security for my children, right? You have to work in your lane. And there's greatness and power as leaders in each one of these lanes. But how you interact with others isn't even as important with this, as important it is how you motivate yourself with your greatest need. So if we look at the pandemic, like just take a look. Power and achievement, pandemic people, they were stuck at home. Love and belonging, they loved it because everybody was stuck at home. Love and belonging people soared if their family was nearby during this time. Freedom and choice, holy crap, those freedom and choice people were freaking out, and they're the ones who are going into the mall, into the grocery stores without a mask because they're like, no, I'm not wearing a mask. You're not taken away. Safety and security, not knowing what's going to happen next. Are we going to be in lockdown? Are we not? They're going to make a decision on May 1st. And then on May 1st, they told us at noon that we were going to be shut down for another 3 weeks or something. And then they kept extending it. Right now, with the way the media is, we don't know what's a lie and what's a truth and what's being told, even on the internet. We don't know what's a lie and what's the truth. You know, the only thing, I'm just going to preach for a second. I don't know if I'm going to hold it or not, but get to the Bible, y'all. Open up the Bible. Get to the Bible, because you will see, first of all, this is not new. This has happened many, many times in biblical history. Things like this happen. It's not a big deal, right? It happens. It's cyclical. The world is cyclical, you know. So get to the Bible. Stop reading the news. Stop reading. You know, we need to know who to vote for. And I would like to say my opinion, but I won't. I'll just say that I believe in America. I'm not saying make America great again. I'm just saying I believe in America. I believe in the Constitution. How about that? I'm voting for the Constitution. That's what I'm voting for. Okay. What was I going to say about this? So number 4, the safety and security during the pandemic, get to the Bible. And number 5, fun and adventure. Those of us who are fun and adventure, we've shifted, and I've made a game of this. Like at the very beginning, CJ and I were fasting from red meat. And so I was making, 3 meals a day for us. And so I was doing everything without meat, which was super fun. Came up with some really great recipes and, shifting our way of doing more virtual. We've been doing virtual in the Power area for 5 years. But we're starting to do more virtual things. And so to me, it was just a huge adventure. It was fun. Now for the adventure people who couldn't get out to do adventures, they might have freaked out a little bit. So you can see how these can interact and how these can make a difference, right? That somebody's
mine,
okay. All right. Well, it's time for a break anyway. So we can leave this up and running. We're going to be back in about 15 minutes. We're going to go on a potty break and all of that. So if you guys want to go do something and come back. So the next 2 classes are going to be Ashley teaching DISC, and Ashlyn is going to be teaching on the mindset. All right. So we'll have another hour of training in about 15 minutes. So love you guys on, and so glad you guys are here in our faces, right? And I'll go see if I can get this online to you guys, this sheet. I'll see how I can get that to you quickly. All right. Mwah. See you in a little bit. I'm going to actually mute us just because we're still going to YouTube, and personal conversations might not need to be heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you get the blue and black?
I have a spell like that in my kitchen. Yeah, I'm fun. And you know what I bought it for the last day of school, so I could go like this out the window.
You're good? Yep.
Okay. So, before we start, I'm just gonna introduce myself. Can you hear us?
Oh, no.
No.
Did you unmute it?
You gotta unmute it.
It is unmuted.
Did you? Okay, yeah, you did. Sorry.
Great, you guys can hear?
Can you hear me now? Good, okay. So before we start, let me just introduce myself. My name is Ashley. I am from Texas, Austin area. And so, I really wanted to be here today. Just, you know,
Thank you
anything,
for coming.
anything to be surrounded with women like you and to be in this space. So a little bit about me. I've got a 9-year-old boy, and I've been with the love of my life for 10 years now. And before Mary Kay, I was going to school, working on my pre-pharmacy degree. I was just kind of that mom that does everything. You know, I was going to school, up and down the road, driving my son to school, spending 2 hours a day on just driving him to and from school. Then I'd go to school, then I'd go to the grocery store, then I'd make dinner, then I'd do all the laundry, and then it was just like repeat, repeat, repeat. I was so sick of it. And so, I was introduced to Mary Kay. First of all, let me just say that it took about 6 months for me to have my first facial, because I was invited and I wanted nothing to do with Mary Kay. I thought it was for old people. That was my first impression, is this is for old people. And so my recruiter is Jessie, my senior is Sarah White, and Jessie's on Sarah's team. And so Jessie invited me to a meeting, and I said, or to just a facial. You know, I gave her every excuse for 6 months. I was so busy, and then it wasn't. And so finally, one day she catches me in the church parking lot, and she's like, "Hey, can you just come and try this product?" And I said, "How dare you get me in the church parking lot?" Our kids go to Catholic school together. So I said, "How dare you? I can't tell you no in the church parking lot." And so that next day, I went over to, I was headed her way, and I was driving there. And Chris, I would like to refer to him as my husband, but Chris was like, "What are you doing? If you don't want to go, like, just tell me you don't want to go." And I said, "I'm just going to go support her." So I'm driving there thinking, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to be here. I don't want anything to do with Mary Kay." And so, of course, like all of us, we try the product, we fall in love. I was full blown Estee Lauder, and I couldn't believe, right, the product I just tried. And so that day, I said yes. Because of the amazing product. I was having skin issues, and never before did anybody take the time with me and love on me and do everything that they did for me and find what was perfect. And I was picky. And I wanted this foundation, I wanted it to look this way. And I was just making every excuse why it wasn't good enough for me. But they worked with me. They never gave up on me that whole evening. And they found exactly what I wanted. And I said yes, just to get myself at a discount. Not even thinking about the business. Because I hadn't worked in years, want nothing to do with work. And so I said yes for that. And so I'm driving home. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I just got my starter kit. What am I going to tell my husband?" Like, oh my God. Like, I had just talked all this trash on Mary Kay. And here I am, like, driving home with the starter kit. It's like, crap. So I just told him, I explained, I was like, "Hey, all this money I'm spending with Estee Lauder, this is like half of the half. Like, I'm really getting a discount now." So he's just like, "Oh, whatever. This is just going to be one of those deals that's just like, whatever." And so I signed my agreement. I'm going on my 3rd year. So I signed my agreement in August. And then I came and qualified, and I loved it so much that I started to share with mom and sister and aunt. And so I just started kind of little by little, just sharing. Yep. And I sprinkled Mary Kay, and I went about my business. And it was the key 2 years ago, the key. So I'm earning my key every 2 years. And then in December, the last day of November, I had an accident. A pressure cooker exploded on me, and I was burnt. As you can see, I still have some scarring. So I was burnt. I was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. And I had just talked to Sarah. I was determined because the star was going to finish on the 15th of December. I wanted to be a star for the first time. Why? I don't know, because I wasn't really working my business, but I was determined, and that's what I wanted. And so in the hospital, I reached out to Sarah and I said, hey, I am going to finish my star. And she's like, are you sure? You know, I'm like laying in the hospital bed like a little Monday, I'll wrap up. And she's like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, oh, don't worry about it. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this. So I picked up the phone, I reached out to family and friends, and I sold $800-ish in 24 hours. And so let me just tell you that my life is very private. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody felt sorry for me and ordered from me. I just reached out. Nobody knew really what was going on with me, and I sold $800 in 24 hours. Okay, so let's fast forward. I recovered for 2 or 3 months. Julie came down and worked with me in March. In March, Julie came down. Never met Julie ever. I picked her up at the airport, and we just immediately connected. We worked. We went shopping for the day. That day, she talked to me about being a red jacket. I had one person on my team, and
I told him that.
you did, okay. And so that same day, red jacket, and then after being a red jacket, after that meeting, she was like, okay. And I was like, so what's next? And she's like, DIQ. And so she explained it to me, and I said, okay. Just because she believed in me, I was able to do it. That month, I went into I finished. I got my 8 and I went into DIQ. Finished June 1, here I am. I never ever thought that I'd be where I am today. Mary Kay has been the best thing that's ever happened to me, for my husband, for my son, for myself. Because I can tell you that last year at this time, I could not even sit here and talk the way I'm talking. So it has been really a true blessing. And with everything going on, I get to stay home with my son. And it's just, you guys know, it's the best thing that you can experience, and nobody knows it until they're right here with us. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. Okay, so what I'm going to train on today is disc. So who knows about the disc?
I just hear people talk about it, but I don't know. Yeah, I just keep saying, yeah, you see. That's all I hear.
Okay, and so, okay, so let me just tell you that I'm going to tell you about disc, right? And so I want you to know that to be a true leader in Mary Kay, and to be successful, you must be able to inspire and influence others. And so you've got to be able to communicate with them, right? You've got to be able to communicate. So we've got to find out. It's always good to know their personality, their style, so we know best to work with them, okay? So I'm going to pass this out. And this is, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this, then we'll go over that. Okay. And so D stands for dominance, okay? And so you'll see up here, and girls, I'll get Julie to get this to you as soon as we can. And so you'll see on top, right? It tells you the different. D is for dominance, I is for influence, S is for steadiness, and C is for conscientious. Okay, I'm nervous, guys. Okay, and so this tells you, right? And so this kind of tells you, in the Mary Kay world, how will she most likely respond to a statement, okay? So the D person, she will talk about her job and she will talk about her accomplishments, right? The I person, she's going to talk about herself and what she likes. The S person will talk about her family and the work that she does for her church. And then the C person will ask you to clarify the question, perhaps saying, what do you mean by that question?
What's your right answer?
Right.
I need to know before I answer you.
Yes. So, who in here can just tell by this what they are? You're an I. So you will talk about yourself and what you like. Okay. S underline. Okay.
I actually think I'm more like a high S and then C right under it.
Okay. So you talk about your family and work you do. Okay.
I don't know.
Are you a C, S? And then, so here's some of the characteristics for D. So D, they're results oriented. They are very focused when it comes to their career. They make decisions quickly, right? you decide you want to be a red, you do it. You make the decision and it's done. They're independent, they're self-confident, and they are impatient. Let's see. Okay, and then I are people orientated. They love the recognition, right? They like to be the focus. They like to be on newsletters. They like the recognition. They love to talk. They're expressive. They're enthusiastic. They're impulsive. And so for S, the S is going to be a little more family oriented. They are security and focus. They are loyal. The S is always like so loyal. Easygoing. They abide by the rules. To S's, friendship is so important. And then, of course, they are slow when it comes to change. So who said they were the S in here?
Well, I think after reading that, I'm high C, but Amy, Beverly, I think our S's.
S. Amy, are you slow to change?
Yeah.
With the pivot in the pandemic, is it going to like slow?
Yeah, I'm definitely slow to change.
Yeah.
Like, that's what really has me, like, I'm staying in Oregon, of course, but.
Okay.
And
Try to
sometimes
choose
there
between
may
S
be
and C.
characteristics that you don't really are
Right.
high on the
Right.
list.
Yeah. Yes. And then of course the C is gonna be like the perfectionist, right? The C is gonna be every little detail, everything's gotta be perfect. And they are very, very organized and they like to know all the facts. Amy's a C too. Hi C. C. Okay.
Like, yeah, back and forth. Yeah.
And so, when it comes to like a team building appointment, this tells you what you might focus on during a team building appointment, okay? So if they are a D, you want to focus on leadership and income potential, right? So you want to see, is she a D, is she an I, is she an S, or is she a C? Because you want to be able to communicate with her. You want to know her style, so that way you don't step on her toes. And you can feed her the information in the great way that she will take it in, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So, so for a D, you're going to want to talk about the leadership, right? They're going to be excited about the income. They're going to love the independence. And of course, they're going to move quickly on the career path. Okay. And they're going to love that, they want to be their own boss. So you're going to want to talk to them about being their own boss. And then, of course, the flexibility, right? So if they're a D, you're going to want to focus on feeding them that, being their own boss, the flexibility, the income. And then if they are an I, they are going to be willing to work for prizes. So who in here likes to work for prizes? Okay. Like prizes, okay. And so the I's like to work for prizes. The I's, you would want to focus on the fact, or, on how we impact women, right? So you want to share that with them. How do we impact women? Because that's something that they're going to love to do. And then they love the ability to be creative, and they love recognition, and they love seminar, right? They're going to be that fun that just loves seminar. And then the S, you're going to want to focus when it comes to team building. Are all of you in here team building? Trying to team build? Yeah. So the S is going to be keeping priorities in order, right? So they're going to want to keep the priorities in order. So, you're going to want to, really focus on the God first, family second, career third when it comes to an S. And then time spent with family and how this will help her provide for them. So focus on how she's going to get to know her family first, right? And it's going to help her provide for them. And so you're going to let her know about the girlfriends, the friend time, right? Because that's going to be very important to her. And then, of course, you're going to have to let her know about all of the free education that she will receive. So you're going to want to let her know MK Connection, the Great Start app, all those kind of things that she'll receive education-wise. And then the C, you're going to want to share with the C if you are trying to, or you at this point you probably recruited her, or if you are layering or you're trying to get her on your, on your team, you are going to let her know that she's able to work her own hours, let her know about the potential personal growth in this company. And so, have all of you, how are you guys with personal growth? Like, do you agree that,
Yes, oh, yeah, I've grown so much just.
Oh, yeah.
right? Do you agree with the personal growth that, you know, we get
Oh,
just by, okay.
we have to.
And then, a C will appreciate all the educational material that's available, okay? And so this is really, really important. Like, once you find out what they are, like, take the sheet and just really, really work. And so, I'm probably going to, like, laminate this and use this. Because this is, I mean, I'm not the best at this, so I'm learning too with you guys. Okay, and so then at a team building appointment, it says here at the bottom, you want to make for a D, right? So the Ds are really focused, they make quick decisions, so you're going to want to have a short appointment. You know, don't linger, make it just quick, short, be brief, but let her know everything, okay? Don't dwell on the fluff. Explain the marketing plan, right? Because she likes, what did we say earlier? That they love leadership and income potential, right? So you're going to want to be brief. You're going to want to make sure that you let her know about the marketing plan and always provide direct answers for them. Okay. Outline the steps for them. Let her do the talking. Let her do the talking and you listen. And she more than likely will decide quickly. If she's, you know, if she's on your team or if she's not on your team, she will join. If she's on your team, she's going to decide to move up quickly. Okay. And then the I, those are going to be the ones that come in for a long appointment. Those are the long appointments that go over like 30 minutes. Those. So allow time for relationship building. Okay. Let her do the talking. Just simple explanations because she doesn't got to know everything. Don't bore her with details. Ask her lots of questions. Provide I stories of people who've been successful. And then show her pictures rather than written material, okay? And then she will probably decide very quickly if she wants to join your team or if she wants to move up, okay? And then the S, steadiness, right? Give them simple explanations. Share the facts, how much it costs, how much time it takes, and how to get started. Explain how she'll be able to fit it into her busy schedule. And then answer any questions that she may have. And then she will probably take more than one appointment. So who said that they weren't acting here?
Enter.
Okay, so S. So the S's, did it take one more than one appointment for them to recruit you? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I surprised myself, but it took a lot of time to get me to just do the appointment. I rescheduled and rescheduled, but I think that was God. Because if I had said this before, I should have put it. But if I had said yes the first time she wanted to schedule the appointment, I never probably would have signed up. But it was after the pandemic. Like that's how much time I got this a couple of months after trying to track me down and get it done. And so I was in like a whole different mindset. So I'm still surprised I said yes so easily, but I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just was like, okay, $30.
Yeah.
So
Okay, and then the C, with the C, you're just gonna wanna, you're gonna want all the facts. Just always remember that, all the facts, right? And then answer all the questions, explain exactly what it takes to move up the career path, and that will probably take more than one appointment as well. So that's going to be layering. So the S and the C are going to take a little more work, a little more time, a little more work. So feedback. Any questions? How do you feel about it?
When do you judge or when do you
determine like their personality. Like how do you, what cues?
diagnose
Their
personality?
Okay, that's a good question. So there's the link, and you can look it up.
Where is it, Ashley?
Okay. There's a link, and there's a questionnaire that you can that they'll answer like some questions. And then that's how you really find out. But if you know, once you start getting good, you'll be able to tell. But you can start off with, there's a questionnaire, and there's several of them.
You do it to your
online.
clients? Or no, you just.
I just like get to know them and then I figure it out.
Yeah.
But I have taken the test for myself, like the little quiz for myself. So you might take it for yourself, kind of see the questions. See if you're diagnosed yourself correctly. Right, and that.
I've taken it all. Well, when I was being later, I was more of an SI. But since then, I have become divorced, remarried, empty nester. So now I have flipped to become an IS. So
I feel like I should take it and get it. I don't even remember what it told me. The one I needed to take it, but I feel like it was not the same as what it would be today. But yeah, for sure.
of course, that was 20 years ago, you know.
Well, it's like I didn't know. My son don't know. I think he ever could know who they are. But like I'm still learning and trying to decide what is important. What have I just got in my head that I thought was important, and what really is important? That's a big thing that I've been.
A lot of times we have the pressures of our circle, our society, but that's not really who we are internally.
And like I can be like a perfectionist about something. So then I've been pigeonholed into being a perfectionist, and everybody kind of expects that from me. And I was like, oh, and I'm like, that's fine. I doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah.
Perfectionist?
Yes, that is me, and I could never figure out how to explain that. Like certain things have to be perfect,
Yes.
and then other things.
You kind of fly by the seat of your pants.
I'm not saying one.
Yes. Like what's the point?
Then the rest of it.
Yes.
Like if I can't do it all, I don't want to do it.
And so the good thing is that once you've been able to identify your own strengths, like once these are my strengths, and you can identify, and then, you know, you're going to be able to identify theirs as well. And so then you'll be able to, you know, shift your mind, shift your thoughts to give them what they need to hear. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. And so just a final thought. To achieve success as a leader of a team, we must develop an appreciation of one another's unique value, right? And so I will open up to any questions that if any of the girls have on Zoom. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts or want to share? Amy?
Oh, I thought she was unmuting. She's typing in the chat.
She said,
You can unmute if you want, Amy.
yeah, come on, Amy.
Can you guys actually hear me? I don't think you can hear
Oh,
me.
we can't hear you.
Oh,
Hold on, I can fix that. Try again. We can now.
Okay. Yes?
Good. I'm done.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, people from afar. I feel very far away in Colorado. But no, I think more than anything, it's just reaffirms what I already sort of knew. I bounce between S and C. I am like everybody's worst nightmare in terms of I want the details and I'm slow, but I don't go away. You can't get rid of me. But yeah, I'm an S and a C and I bounce between them. So I think I said no to Sarah, like I stopped counting at like 10 or 15.
Time up. Okay, that's our time up. And I did have a cute little video, but we didn't get to play it. So it's super cute. And it's,
We'll try and put it on something.
yeah, we may try to put it on before the day's over, okay? Okay. Bye, guys.
I keep waving at this. Like that's their house.
So,
They're there.
do you want us to mute this or shut this off, Dylan?
No,
I muted it.
Oh, okay, we're gonna, so action's coming next.
She had it. It was going in the background too. It wasn't by. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that down pat, I think. Who is it that one? It was Paula who wanted to see the.
my face bag.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
All right, so while we're waiting on Ashley to come over, I'll show you guys and I'll run over there and show them real quick. The PMS bag that I'm sending out is like this, and it's in a regular envelope, and it costs 80 cents to mail. So you can send out a lot more than if you're doing the padded envelopes, which is a minimum of $2.50. So I have the at a glance. Oh, low battery. Hold please. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so here's my PMS bag. It has the at a glance from the company, because I like the company corporate initiative. It has my recruit, so just a recruit flyer. All of this, you can go to juliepotts.com, appointments, information, etc., something like that, and then click on my Dropbox link. And this is called it's a folder. All this is in my folder PMS. Okay, referral sheet for doing the helicopter overhead story. I have a closing set sheet. I like this for the PMS bag because it has all the skincare and then different options. And I didn't feel like recreating the wheel, so I was like, oh, I like this. Now, all of this fits, obviously in a pamphlet envelope, right? I happen to have these, and I am all about using what I have. Do not go get these cellophane bags. You don't need to, right? You can just take the PMS instructions. So for the PMS, they're going to need a mirror, a wet washcloth, a pen, the kit that I'm sending to you, makeup applicators, and a mascara. 5 minutes before your appointment, use the enclosed facial cleanser to wash your face. Because I found that doing the virtual appointments, I was wasting time washing their face. They can do that before I get on with that. So they just wash their face. So they get an option of one of the 3 packets that are available, right? Normal to dry, combination to oily, or repair. They get one of my treatments, not all of them, but based on their profile card. Jotform.com, by the way, get it, fill the form, start a template, Google Julie Potts, boom, it's all there, just edit it and it's done. But they get one based on their skincare. I do a color card based on their eye color. I've got beauty books that I'm using up. I use these at my appointment, so when they get a new one, so I'm just using up my old ones and sticking them in there. You don't have to have that. And then all of this goes in their PMS kit. You could, if you wanted to do, are you here, Ashlyn? Okay. Like I said, it can all just go into this. It doesn't have to be in that. So PMS kit on my website. Okay, your turn. Go ahead. You got till 12.
My hair, can you see
40,
me?
yeah, 9. 12:50.
Watching all the pressures. Okay. Triple the over. Okay, everybody knows my story. Everybody knows me. Before Mary Kay, I worked in corporate America. For those of you that don't know me, hi Beverly. Hi Amy. Hi Tandra. Hi Monica. Hi Julie. Oh wait, that's us. Anyways, so for those of you that don't know my story, I was in corporate America before Mary Kay, before meeting Julie, before my first facial. Left because I was losing my hair and super stressed out. My husband was like, that's no way to live, so just find something that makes you happy. Who's heard of Bloom Salute, happy wife, happy life? There was no happy, okay? So Chad said, get happy. And so he said, just find something that you can pay this and this and just find you. And that's when I found Julie. My cousin had called me and said I had been in bed for 2 weeks, maybe showered once or twice, was not changing out of PJs. And my cousin called and said, hey, I met this lady. She lives in Bargersville. She drives a pink Cadillac, does Mary Kay. She's looking for somebody in her office. I think you need her and she needs you. Went in, She facialed me. And for those of you that know, how she made me feel on the other side of the table was life-changing. I didn't say yes to the Mary Kay opportunity originally because I was in a place depressed, as you, from my story, you probably picked up. And I thought, how can I pour into women if I'm not full? And so I just worked for her for a couple months, fell in love with the product. Fast forward about 4.5 months, we had a miscarriage. Mom went with me to my follow-up appointment, and my mom's like, this is dumb, but mom also knows. Raise a hand if you're a mom. Moms know I needed a void filled, so I didn't go back down that deep, dark path, right? And so I said yes just for the discount. I wasn't going to wear heels. I wasn't going to wear dresses. I didn't want to work a business. I was not in that place, right? Fell in love with the products originally, so I just started sharing them with some family members. Made $1,300, and the rest is history. Fast forward, became a director, top 2% of the company. We're driving our second free car. It should be here anytime. You know, Cadillacs and beyond is where we're going. And my favorite part about this business is that I'm literally able to spark joy, ignite it, and make people happy. And for those of you that know, there is a pandemic happening. There's a pandemic. Who knew? And so when it happened, I said this, God, we're pretty far from finishing a car. God, I don't know where I'm going to be at the end of this, but what can I do? I can make people smile. I can make people laugh. And if you decide to pay me, great. That's it. Well, guess what? June 30th, we did more than we've ever done. We finished a car. And so to God be the glory for that, because it's just amazing. So that's me. I'm going to talk to you about affirmation and your mindset, because the mind is so powerful. It's super powerful. So there was a guy that used to work for Mary Kay Corporate. I was just pulling up my Bible out here. And he said, when someone interviewed him, he said, so who's the competitor? Like, who is the competitor for Mary Kay? And he's like, the woman's mind. And he said, what? He said, the woman's mind is one of the most powerful things ever. Okay, so basically you're right, Ashlyn's speaking on the power of my mind. Like, that's what this is, okay? And so I'm going to share Galatians. I always say it wrong. I always want to say it like it's the ice cream. It's terrible. So Galatians 5, verse 16 and 17. Okay? So I say, let the Holy Spirit guide your lives. Then you won't be doing what your sinful nature craves. The sinful nature wants to do evil, which is just the opposite of the fruit of the Spirit. And the Spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. So if you're like, what's the fruits of the Spirit? Write down what are the fruits of the Spirit so you can go back and look. These two forces are constantly fighting each other, so you are not free to carry out your good intention. Okay, so flesh battles. Okay, and so the power of the mind, because change your mind, you change your life. Okay, so I'm sharing that because that's kind of just the intro for it. Okay, and for those of you, everybody watched Ruby last night, correct? Ruby, you guys watched it. Okay, so our queen of our seminar, Callie DeBlander, her 3 words that her mom said, that was what I was going to talk on today. Consistency, focus, and discipline. Whatever you're looking at, whatever you're focused on, tracking, whatever you are disciplined, habit, and consistency, also habits over time. Consistent focus, discipline, consistency. Focus is, what are you tracking? What are you looking at? Focus is what you're tracking. What are you looking at? Discipline is track number growth. Sorry. Discipline is those habits. Write down 21 days. And consistency is what you're doing over and over again, because consistency is actually like a muscle. You do it enough, you're going to keep doing it, because guess what happens? No matter what, raise your hand if you have a bad day. Raise your hand. Oh, yeah. Raise your hand if you have a bad day. You have a bad day? We all have bad days. Yes. So as long as you've got that consistency, nothing can throw you off. So when you are in the zone, you're in your A game, you're feeling good, get that circle going. It's like the locomotive engine of a train. Can you imagine? Once it's going, it's going. very hard to stop it. But then once you stop it, how hard is it to get it going again? So that's why that 21-day challenge is super brilliant. So if you can hear me, 21-day challenge is huge with this business and how you're able to. You're doing the same thing, no matter what, no matter the outcome, no matter what's going on. That's how you look at what you do. Okay. So when it comes to success and you look at, okay, so you're a brand new consultant, everybody's got at least one team member on their team, right? Does everybody have at least one person on your, have you, raise your hand if you've recruited before or you want to recruit? Oh, yay! That, now we're in the room, we're in the room. Okay, so when you're looking at people, someone who's recruited one, someone who's recruited some who've recruited many, okay? So how did you do it? How did you do it? Tell me what you did. Here's what I want you to think. Ask these questions. What were you thinking? What were you reading? What were you listening to? What were you thinking? What were you reading? What were you listening to? Because is there not a lot of noise? So those questions for those of you that are online. What were you thinking? What were you reading? What were you listening to? Because is there not noise in society? I mean, right now, like Nicole's opening, how about that? I mean, there is so much noise. Now, don't be dumb. Listen to enough to get educated, then turn it off. Because your mind, whatever you're feeding it, is what grows. So if you're feeding it negativity, what's going to happen? You're going to produce what? Negativity, okay? If it's semi-positive, okay, so think about the pink bubble. Okay, so this training is going to be a little bit different than probably what my girls heard next door. Think about your pink bubble. How do you feel when you're in the pink bubble? You feel pretty good because it's positive. We're feeding good stuff. It's healthy. When you use really good products on your face, how does it do? It behaves. When you put good nutrition in your body, how does it do? It behaves. So think about your mind the same way. When you feed it good nutritional substance, it's going to behave. Okay? Even in the times when in the locomotive engine, it's going, and someone throws a wrench at it. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep going, no matter what. And that's literally what it looks like. Can everybody hear me okay? Yep, yay. Good, we know my voice carries. Monica, I think you're the newest one to the group, but my voice carries. So, what are you reading? And so, who's reading something right now? And what are you reading?
I am reading.
It's okay. The diabetes code, okay?
7 highly effective habits of families.
Okay. Who wrote that? Was that Maxwell? Yes, love Maxwell.
Women who dare to dream.
Yes, women who dare to dream. Okay, so here's what I want. So some maybe, some won't. I encourage you, I implore you, find a podcast, find a YouTube video that's even 30 seconds long. Find a book that you can read a sentence or a paragraph or 10 pages or 10 chapters in a night, because that's healthy food. So write down.
Bible app. I get one every morning.
The Bible,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so you are reading something. Yes.
In my car. Like all the
Here's something if you are driving to work. This was something that I learned 10 years ago. Turn your vehicle into a university library. Okay. 20 minutes to work, 20 minutes back, an hour, half hour, whatever. Listen to something positive. So for those of you that don't know, we have a Mary Kay Learning app. All the speeches, all the things on all topics are available to us. And so you can just plug that in, earphones, and you still be paying attention to the road. But it's opportunity for you. And reason being, it's healthy. It's super healthy for you. And so if you're not reading something and you're not listening to something positive, and I will say, the Bible, that is that spiritual food. That feeds your soul. That's the healthy food for your soul. I'm talking about your mind. Because the enemy is going to challenge what you are reading in your soul food. It just, so have the protection from all areas. So we talk about armor, right? That's what having both. Okay. So there, what am I thinking? What am I reading? What am I listening to? Because what you're putting in is what you're going to put out. And when you're putting out negative energy, who wants to be around you? Who wants to recruit with you? Who wants to do anything? Oh, I don't want any of that. Now, it's different. Nicole shared a little bit about the why story, but that's where you were before, right? So this is just how you keep you're guarded. Think you've worked a real job, job. You're guarded. How do you act in a professional setting? That's what we want you to be, your best self, present, right? Okay, so the next thing is your girl gang. Where are you plugging in? So we're daughters of the king, okay? There's God, family, mom, sisters, whether you're married, you don't have kids, your daughter, literally all of it. That's the second hat, the family piece, okay? The last piece is, what are you doing in your spare time? Also plays into what are you listening to? Who are your people? Who's your circle? Your inner circle. Okay? Who's ever heard your income is an average? This is hilarious. Your income is an average of the 5 people that you're around the most. Okay. One of my 5 is 2 years old. I'm in trouble. That's a joke. So I have a toddler. But anyway, so with that, what I will tell you is, who's heard, when I have a great week, the meeting needs me. When I have a not so great week, I need the meeting. Okay, heard that? Yes, we probably heard that. This is the same thing. So when you've got power sisters, power partners, your director, your recruiter, those are your power people that when you are feeling not so up and you're down and you're not swinging, and there's a wrench going into your locomotive, those are your people that you reach up or you reach out and they pull you back up where you need to be. It's like the snap out. Okay. So like, for example, my pivot used to take me 6 months to a year to get out of it. Well, that's the old story. I don't do that anymore. So now it's so exciting to say, okay, so what did I used to do? What am I doing now? How quick do I pivot now? And it's because of my circle. The women that surround you, your Mary Kay sisters, no matter what, they're going to love you no matter what, but they're going to challenge you because they know that you want more. You're sitting in this room because you want more. You pay attention because you want more. So knowing the why and that plug in and that sisterhood, that's also a piece to your mindset, is the circle. Because yes, this is our own business, but we're not in business alone. We get to lean on each other in hard times, hold each other up in our great times. Because when I'm having a not so great week, Julie, I mean, literally, my husband and I, in my season and where I'm at, and in my directorship, my husband and I have like a code word, like a code situation. He's like, you need to call Julie, and I'll be asking you tomorrow how I'm in. Like immediately. And that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? So just knowing what that looks like, because even, this is crazy, even how you, where am I on time? Okay. Even where you are in your season, the pivot looks different. It just looks different based on your circumstance. And your circle, we are exactly where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there with the people that we're supposed to be there with. So allow them to speak truth, because when you're having the bad day, the lies are not the truth. So do not rest on your laurels with that, because he's lying to you every single time. Remember what I said at the beginning, the woman's mind is one of the most powerful weapons. It is. Doesn't even matter. Crazy. Okay, So then here's the next thing, and then I've got two quotes that I want to share with you. So Gloria Mayfield Banks, Emerald Seminar, elite executive, senior national sales director, Gloria Mayfield Banks. She says when she's having a bad day and she just cannot get out of the funk, like I cannot get out of it, she gets back in the shower, does her hair again, she gets her makeup done all over again, and then she puts a different outfit on. Okay? Because again, it doesn't matter when they say make your bed, it's the first thing you do in the day, right? I don't do that. But anyway, shower, that's what I do. Anyways, but it's how you present yourself. And you are presenting yourself, you're showing up for you just as much as you're showing up for everybody else. And I'm not just saying in career, that's your family too. If you've got children, it's what's caught, not so much what's taught. They want to see mama get up. They want to see mama no matter what. The wrench, it's gonna happen. It doesn't matter what's going on. You can be, for those of you that have directors and you've watched them even in their seasons, they're like, it's the pivot, the power of a pivot is that. And it comes back to what you're focused on, no matter what. There's that locomotive. I'm going from here to there, no matter what. That's that focus. I'm going to do this and this and this to get there. And guess what? I'm going to do it consistently. Every day, no matter what. That is the discipline and the consistency of the time. And you chip it away. And then you're there. And it happens. And you're just, when people are going to ask you, how did it happen? How did it happen? That's the platform for it. Okay. All right. So, kids, it's not so much what's taught, it's what's caught. So what they see you doing. So that's also in the power of the pivot too, is how are they seeing you? Boom. Like no matter what, and that was one thing for those of you that are thinking about leadership. You're thinking, I want to move up. I want to do something a little bit more than what I'm doing. When my husband and I were pregnant, we were probably about 4 months along, and I was like, do I want to do Mary Kay or do I want to go back to work? And like that was the conversation. And I was like, but what if, if I'm working too much, or what if I fail? And my husband, Chad, he said, hold on. Our kids will always know what it looks like to work hard to get what we want. And our kids will always know what it looks like to fall down and get back up. Because no matter what, we all fall down. What sets you apart is if you decide to stand back up. And guess what makes you stand back up? Those 3 words that I just said. Focus, discipline, consistency. Take off on
example of that. The adopted director meeting I was going to, she got deathly ill, and it got so bad that if she was able to get up and take a shower, that was a great day.
Yeah.
And this went, it went on for almost 2 years. So we weren't having meetings. And my son was like, why are you home? It's Monday night, and he was like 11, 12. And they noticed that. And he knew she'd been sick, but he was like, why are you home? He was a good kid. I could trust him. But he knew he always knew that Monday night, mom was going to have a meeting. And so,
the foundation, I will say this, one of the things that I listened to with John C. Maxwell when the pandemic did happen, I remember this one thing out of a list of 10 of how to make sure when you are a leader of followers, to ensure that they trust you. One of the biggest things is consistency. So that's also, when you commit to something, it's the no matter what. No matter what. And so, okay, here's 2 quotes. First one's from John Maxwell. The leader knows the way. Don't worry, I'm going to repeat it. Steve's in the room. Knows the way, goes the way, shows the way. The leader knows the way, so education, pointing, knowledge goes the way, that's that activity, those habits, and then shows the way. That's the teaching part. That's the whole like riding the bike mentality. Whoever taught you how to ride a bike, if you know how to ride a bike or know how to swim, one or the other, or walk. We're all walking. So, okay, that's a good one. Walking. What they do, they showed us how to do it. We watched them walk. We watched them ride a bike. We watched them swim. They held us while we learned, and then so we could do it on our own. And so the leader knows the way to go, goes the way. So not just talking the talk, but walking along, the habit, the activity, and then shows the way. Teaches others. Pass it on. Did Jesus not say to do that? And did Mary Kay not say to do that? Totally cool. Love it. Love it. All right, last one. I don't know who said this, but I'll be like, what's that quote? I just was like, I like this quote. Okay, so great leaders don't set out to be a leader. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role. Oh, well, it's always about the goal. Okay? Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role. It's always about the goal. One more time. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, the title. It's always about the goal. No, I don't remember who said it, but I thought it was great. I'm adding it. All right, so that's all I've got for you for those, but I will challenge you with the mindset is a great way to start your day and end your day is with affirmations. What the definition of an affirmation in my eyes is who you look at, like when you look in the mirror, it's what you're saying to yourself. And the sheet that Julie gave you, those trigger words, tell me if you don't say those in the morning, at night for 21 days, if that does not significantly change your life and your business. Say the little block words. Look in the mirror. I am focused. I am driven. I am a good mother. I am an amazing wife. I am a leader of leaders. I mean, when you are saying those, and here's the thing, is when you start saying affirmations, sometimes it can be uncomfortable. Sometimes you're like, that's a lie. Okay, if you're like, I don't even know how to start, I don't want to say those words. Look for what's in the Bible. Where it says you, put your name. That's the truth. Okay? All right, Julie. I know, but are the girls on Zoom? I know they're screening for a long time, so I just didn't know. We're done. We're going to eat. Thank you. I'd love to know in the comments. I'd love to know in the comments what you thought or what your biggest takeaway was. And you might be muted.
You did an awesome job. You did an
Hold on,
awesome
I gotta find it. Oh, I don't know. Hold on. Oh, it's not. Oh, here. All right, can you hear me? Talk, Bev.
I said you did an awesome job.
What'd you like? What'd you learn, girl?
I was reminded. It's all stuff I've heard before, but right now, it was a good reminder for me.
Good.
And you did a good job.
Love you, girl.
You've come such a long way from that first year we went to seminar.
I know, you were my partner in crime. Oh Lord, don't even talk about it. My dress. Anyways, yes, Beverly, thank you. Thank you. Amy, what about you? Love you, girl.
I was going to say, it reminded me of the stuff we talked about the other night on the red call or on April's or one of the above. I don't know. I'm
April.
on so many calls right now.
So many. So many.
But it just reminded me that I need to also stop getting in my own way.
Get out. The old story, write the new one. Good. Awesome. Monica, what about you? What did you love about it or learn?
Hers in your chat.
I really loved the reminder to keep, engaging in positive things like the podcast and like the personal growth stuff, and continue reading the Bible, which is something I actually just started doing this year. So
We love it. Yay, amen. Monica, it's kind of like a cell phone. Like, do you have a cell phone? I'm assuming.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you know how we plug in the cell phone to recharge? It's the same thing. We want to keep you charged. That's the plug-in. So great. Love it. Tandra, what about you?
I put in the comments as well. I like the focus, discipline, and consistency piece. That is a good reminder of kind of where we're at. You know me, I'm always preaching about self-development. So always doing the podcast, reading something, that's right up my alley. So
Speaking your language, sister.
mhm.
Love it. Well, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. All right. Well, we're going to go eat. So see you when Julie does her next thing, I think. You guys know? Okay. Bye.
Don't end it.
What do you mean don't end it?
Just mute it.
Don't. Just mute.